2017. Thank you for Full Circle Learning Solutions. Father, thank you for making it possible for those who have come here to be here right now. Father, thank you for those who are still on the way, and those who are still thinking about coming. Father, let everyone pick in their steps and be here in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we know that today will be great because you're present here. Your Holy Spirit is here with us. Father, everything we're going to do today, Father, we hand over to you in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, have your way in this place. The speakers, Father, put words into their mouth so that everybody who listens will go away fulfilled in the mighty name of Jesus. Blessed be your holy name, O Lord, for in Jesus' mighty name we pray.
You know, the wonderful ladies who are here. And it came about because we wanted to answer a question: what do women want? You know, especially women in our age grade. I don't want to call us middle-aged women, but you know, women in our age grade. So when we were wondering what do women want at this our age, you know, we came up with some answers to exactly what women want. We said, first of all, most women in our 8th grade want a badass body. They want to look good about them. They want to look good. We also said that a lot of women now, they want an active network of successful, beautiful women as well. They also want to be financially independent. They want to be healthy. And they want a space where, you know, they can a space where they can be themselves, be inspired by other women, who support each other, and just be celebrated. You know, so that was what actually came back to Full Circle Wellness Solutions. So we're an organization that we cater to women. We talk about weight, we talk about career, we talk about finance, we talk about health. In short, we talk about everything that has to do with a woman at this stage of our life. You know, our ultimate goal is to have a wholesome, you know, successful, beautiful, confident, badass woman. So, because we realize that we are worth it. You know, as a woman, you need to tell yourself every day that I am worth it. You know, we tend to put ourselves last. You know, we take care of kids, we take care of husbands, we take care of families, we go to work. But we need to begin to put ourselves first. Because if you're not feeling good about yourself, you really will not be able to give your best. So we're telling you as a woman, you need to give yourself a seat on the table. You need to be sitting right there at the head of the table. It's time for us to, you know, rise up and be the women that God called us to be. So we welcome you to our second edition of Full Circle Wellness Solutions meeting, and we hope that you enjoy yourself. And we also encourage the people that are visitors to, you know, join us on this wonderful journey of self-discovery. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ijoma. So, I want a badass body. I want to be financially independent. I want to mix with fellow networking ladies like yourself. So, what about yourself? What about you? What would you say you learned from just this session? What one word would you describe this from what you've heard about from Ijoma? Can you answer that, please? What she just said?
Being happy.
Being happy. What does that mean to you? Right. Anyone else? Who's next to Ruby? Okay, Ruby.
Hi.
Okay, what do you want to add to this conversation?
For us women, it's clear that we need to take up this invitation to ourselves and to understand that, you know, we can have and whatever we want to be.
She said limitations. I like that word. Please, can you elaborate on the limitations? What limitations do women normally have?
You know, many times as individuals, we feel that we should be reaching forward, we feel that, you know, we're used to enabling others and making others successful and forgetting that we ourselves have the right, you know, to participate and to actually be leaders. So when you take up those invitations, then you understand that, like I just said, you can actually make sure that you have a seat at the table, and then you can make sure that your voice is heard, and that you can make decisions, and you can push things and make things happen just the way you imagine or desire to do.
John, I think they're guessing it now. I've only interviewed 3 people, or 3 people. Anyone else? What else do you want to say to this conversation?
Just remember that we need to look after ourselves. We need to just put ourselves there first. I think it's part of our DNA to always think of our husband, our children. We also have to sometimes also remember that we need to wind it up.
To touch on confidence, I think that at 16, like we all are here, by the time you're 16, you really should be able to come out of your own, and be able to step up and stand up, step out and stand up for what you are, what you believe. But I want to talk about networking. That's what struck me. I think that networking is such a fantastic thing and such a big thing. We don't use it. A lot of times we hear the men talk about boys club and things. You get so much value from networking. Honestly, if we don't go away with anything else from here, let's go away knowing the value and the importance of networking. You can get so much knowledge, connections for whatever it is. Let's really learn about that.
That's very interesting and an important point. She said networking. The men network all the time. They network when they're in the football, when they're watching football or speaking about sports. But we women, we need to take that on board. Does anyone else on this side want to add anything to the conversation? Thank you.
I just want to touch on it. She said being happy. Happiness is a choice that we have to make. You choose to be happy. It doesn't just come to you. You have to make a conscious effort to be happy. You have to make that decision to say, I want to be happy. Then you find out the things that make you happy and you just go out and do them. So that you just don't sit down and wait for happiness to come to you. You have to make that decision first of all, and then go out and find out the things that make you happy and just do them, because you only live once. Life is short. So you choose to be happy. It's a conscious decision you have to make. That's all I have to say.
So what do you do to be happy? Because I know what I do.
A lot of things make me happy. I like to listen to music. I like to, I like to spend on myself. Sometimes I get, we are always so used to spending on our kids, spending on our hobbies, or boyfriends, or whatever. But then you can choose to just decide an amount of money you want to spend on yourself today, and just go all out without having to feel guilty about anything, because you are the one making the money. Come on, you are an independent woman. So if you decide you want to spend money on yourself, to make yourself happy, you go all out and do that without feeling anyhow, without having any guilty conscience, or without even checking your pockets. Today I'm going to spend so amount of money on myself, and then you go out and do it. Makes you happy. You can watch movies. You can just decide to shut down, shut off your phone, shut off your internet, whatever. Just stay at home and then rest. That could make you happy at the end of the day. After the rest, just watch TV, whatever. There's so many things that you can do. I'm just talking about myself. The things that I do to make me happy. Thank you.
Because there's something that I like to do that makes me happy, but I need the band in here so that I can show the girls what I do personally that makes me happy. But before the band comes in, let's move on, because we want the conversation to be with everybody. What would you like to add to this conversation, please? Pardon? Yes. So from what you've heard so far, is it encouraging? Yes. Okay. Next, please. What would you like to add to this discussion?
I'd like to agree with everyone so far. For me, full circle wellness solutions is all about coming full circle, making sure that every area of your life is, at best that it can be. And what better place to achieve that than a group of ladies who have the same focus, who can act as your accountability partners to ask you along the journey that you're taking in this life. So, welcome to Full Circle, everyone.
Okay. Who's going to play that song for me? Can you do that now?
Full Circle is a place, I haven't just been introduced to it for the first time, but I think it's a place where we come to grow up. Most of us, not grow up. I mean, develop, mature, and be independent. It makes you, they've already said, confident, happy, and an individual by yourself. You're not linked to a husband, you're not linked to the children. At some point, you want to just be and grow up.
Are we ready for that track? Are we ready for that track? Stand up, everyone. We're here for Full Circle. Anyone like to cooperate? Okay. This is what I like to do. I like to relax, I like to dance. Watch me. What she just said, you be who you are. Because until you are who you are, you can't really satisfy anybody else, can you? At this age of our life, I don't know about you all, but I'm 47 this year. And, you know, I've gone through a lot of things, but at this stage of my life where I can see 50, I'm like, what else is there? I just have to be myself. I can't pretend anymore. Take me as I am. That's me. Who's next?
In one word, I like to call it liberation. She talked about liberation. You're liberated from having to be identified only solely with your husband, be your own person. And she talked about wellness, physical wellness, and mental and financial wellness. Thank you.
Hello, lady in red.
For me, being a full circle woman means being bold, being smart, being intelligent, being dependent. As a full circle woman, I've learned to take the right decisions in certain things, especially in food that I eat. I know that water is the best drink for me now. Like when I walked in, a lot of people came to me and said, "Oh, you've lost so much weight." Because this is the second edition of Full Circle Wellness, and the first one was held in February, and then I was a lot bigger than this. But now I'm slimmer. So, it's a place to be. Full Circle is about wellness, it's about fitness, it's about living your life to the fullest. You know, so I encourage the new people that are here today to please join this organization and you'll be better for it. Thank you.
Very much.
I'll explain because I have to my full name for a reason. So I grew up in my house as Audi because I'm Audi Igbo from Abuja State, from Abuja Anambra State. And when I went to primary school in Korea, the English teacher people me as Audi. So my mom had to register me as Daniela. So that's what I have on all my school certificates. So some know me as Daniela, some know me as Audi. I love both, by the way. And then the island is because my husband is Dutch. So I'm proudly a full circle woman, and I'll tell you why. Because it gives me joy to be among people who are progressives. It's very hard to find this kind of people in Nigeria today. Everybody wants to be better, everybody wants to be nastier, everybody wants to push down to get to where they're going. encourage you when you feel low. It's very important to align yourself with groups like this. So I'm so happy to be here. I'm a member already, and I encourage anybody who's not to join. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. I like what you said. It's important, you know, because I've been in Nigeria for 9 years, and I did find it a challenge because I just felt to myself that we women, we don't support each other enough. And it's something that I've taken from what she just said, that groups like this can help us because two heads are better than one, aren't they? Okay? Thank you. Next.
You got it fixed. So my name is Izehi Anugu. I'm just going to share this short story. When I was very younger in Port Harcourt, if I go to a party and I'm dancing and the guy comes to meet me, what's your name? If I like the guy, I'll say, my name is Idu, I-D-U, I'll spell it out. You know, in Port Harcourt, they'll say Idu, that means, I beg, don't talk to me. So, if I like a guy, I just say I-D-U first and say Idu, that's my name. So, this is my first time she invited me. And I've always been into myself and my family. I have 5 sisters. So, and they're all the people I know in Lagos. And only old friends, like really old friends. And I found out they're not really adding value to my life anymore. And now my sisters are relocating too, so leaving me all by myself. Before it was the other way, I was the one living abroad. Now I'm the one living in Nigeria and they're all abroad. And I've been looking for where I can hang out with women. Women don't like me, I don't know why. They never like me. When I was a copper, I'm not kidding. If I enter the room, the guys will come and tell me, what did you do to these women? They keep saying, what's even wrong with her? I'm like, I know myself. I know, like I look at myself and I say, I'm hot. You know what I mean? When you know yourself and you love yourself, you don't need anybody else to affirm you. That's what I'm preaching now. Everywhere I go, I preach self-love. I listen to your talk, and for a long time, I used to take care of everyone. I have 3 kids. 20-year-old girl, 19, and a 13-year-old. And most people say, you don't look it. I'm like, I paid my dues. So I used to take care of, all I used to do was think about everyone. I'll travel and come back. I won't buy anything for myself, not a single item. Then I'll come and borrow from my sister. Now, when I go away, 80% of things in my luggage is mine. Only mine. And I'm not apologetic. So, nice meeting you ladies. I know a few faces here. So I'm going to deepen the relationship and I'll definitely be a member.
Thank you very much. We've just got a few more minutes before we go to our first speaker. But let's keep going. Would you like to say anything to the conversation?
My name is Izehi. Anyway, I wasn't here when the people started, but the little I know about it is a good background of networking with people that have the same dream and the same focus.
Thank you. Hello there. I love your blouse. Is there anything that stands out from what anybody has said to you? No? Okay. Let's move on. What would you like to say? Does anybody else on this side want to say anything about the full
circle woman? I am proud to be part of this group because I feel as if I started it with the whole people here, and it's been wonderful. It's a group where you think, you feel on your own and you can't achieve something, but when you're part of this group, you want to go all the way. The encouragement is awesome. You just say one thing on the group and everybody's like chipping in and cheering you on. And you just want to keep going because it's so much fun to talk people in the same level. You think you're alone doing something. When you just mention, say, oh, I was like this, and you're like sharing the same ideas. It's so encouraging, so enlightening. So please, those of you that are not part of this group, join. You will not regret it. I have been here. I was in the last meetup. I won the gifts. And I'm handing it somebody else today. So please, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Does anyone else on this side want to say anything about Full Circle? Okay.
Okay, good evening once again. My name is Izehi Anugu.
I'm a full circle woman. And a lot has been said. The reality is the taste of the food is in the eating. Honestly, I have friends and family members who are members, but you rarely hear from them, but their personal life testimonies, and I keep encouraging them, you need to talk. I'm expecting my sister to come here, and I pray she comes, and I need her to say something. Lives are being impacted, whether we believe it or not. So many people like men, people who keep talking and making comments. Fumi came on board recently, and she's been quite active. You don't know what you're doing to people. We have silent members, but a whole lot of things achieved behind the scenes, not just in terms of wellness, even confidence. There are people who were not confident before. It's not everybody who is in the field where they are outgoing or get to meet people. There are so many people who are introverts naturally. So but this club has made them come out of their shells. They've come to realize that they've come full circle. At this stage, what more do you have? You just have to live your life to the fullest, like Ruby said, but she's turning 50. 50 is the new 20 now. There's nobody in this house who looks any day older than 18. That's the truth. So, and that's the whole power of them coming from the circle. Seriously. You look way younger than that. I had a chat with someone, a customer of ours. We had a breakfast meeting with one of my colleagues, and we kept talking, and we were talking about children. My younger colleague was talking about her 16-year-old son getting ready for work. I was talking about my daughter at university. So the guy, I don't know where he placed us before. So he had to stop, and he asked, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're talking about teenagers and how old are you making? My colleague is actually my mate too. So the guy was like, no, that he has to get the wife to talk to us. How do we do it? How do we look after ourselves? Well, I don't know, I haven't met your wife, but she has to come and meet me so she can join now. Because nobody wants to age. I saw the woman who is 80, I hear she's 80 now. And she has the body build and all that. So what's our excuse? There's just no excuse. We have to come full circle. Thank you.
Clap for yourselves, ladies. At this part of the evening, I'm going to introduce. Do we want more people to talk about full circle on the other side? Anyone? Okay.
Well, if I wasn't here, I'll be watching TV, I enjoy being by myself, alone. I actually don't think I'm missing anything by not, engaging. Maybe I engage too much in my kind of job. But Ijoma has been on my case. And so eventually I joined Full Circle Women. And I'm excited to be here, first time to meet all the ladies. You pardon me because I can be me, real, and everything. But I'm happy to be here. I think what I've learned being within the group is all about freedom. Freedom to be you, freedom to be happy, freedom to say what you want to say, how you want to say it, to be your size, your height, wherever you are, my skin tone. I'm just happy. I think it's freedom, and I'm enjoying it. We'll meet each other in the evening.
Thank you very much. So let me tell you a secret. From what I've heard, I'm definitely signing up. So I want to start at this time by introducing the first speaker. How can I describe her? She's elegant, beautiful, disciplined. She's a visionary behind Eleanor Thompson, support staff solution company specializing in training, placement, and consulting of butlers, support, administrative and domestic staff. The company, listen to this, is the only franchise of the British Butler Institute in West Africa. I want to introduce you to the first speaker, Izehi Anugu. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Izehi, she called me Izehi or something. My name is Izehi, I'm from Edo State, and I'm the lead consultant of the transformational forward-thinking, result-driven service excellence company called Thompson. I would like to thank FCWS. This is my first interaction with this group, and Mrs. Mena Ajapovi, Fred, for this opportunity. And I never take it for granted every time I have the opportunity to speak with any group, especially seasoned professionals and entrepreneurs like yourselves. So again, thank you FCWS and Mrs. Ajapovi, and I also want to thank every one of you for the opportunity to speak. Every time I speak, I consider it an opportunity to share and to learn. So I hope this will be a pleasant experience for myself and for you. And if I ask any questions, please just answer, indulge me. In spite of the fact that I train every week, it's still never easy, and neither is it fun. So I'm nervous, forgive me, just give me time and I'll get into it immediately. Okay. My first experience with service, and she described my company from where it's originated from. We've grown since then. It's been 3 years, and we've grown according to the needs of the time and the problem we set out to solve when we started out. Alright, so my first experience with service was with my home. That's where I grew up. I served so much that my late younger brother gave me a fantastic name, and that name was Minister of Labor. I eventually grew and I added to that name. I added productivity to labor because I found that true service created impactful productivity. So at first I was really upset about that name, Minister for Labor. I was really upset, but eventually I grew to realize that that was my own way of gifting my world and my environment. So today I have the privilege of taking us on a short journey on service excellence, you as a differentiating factor and its impact on profitability. I will be digressing because I am a teacher. I will try to teach and speak at the same time in the shortest possible time, and more importantly, try to connect the dots. Okay. I will tell you a bit about myself. When I started business, I graduated from law from the University of Benin. I went to law school, but I was totally not interested in representing anybody. Why? Because I found that if I was going to represent anybody, there was no way I was going to impact that person. I don't know how I was going to serve as a lawyer, because I was thinking, how would I create that experience for you? How would I create that experience for anybody? When I was younger, when we were going to have a party in my house, I grew up in a very close-knit family. I'm sure like most of us in our generation, then we didn't have too many other interactions, but with our close-knit families and friends. So I was really close with my siblings. And anytime we were going to have a party, I found that my siblings would be bothered about, the dresses they were going to wear, how they were going to look, what was going to happen at the event. But I was always more bothered about the funniest things. Guess the kind of things I was bothered about? Can you? Me? Yes, food so much. You got it. How did you? Okay, food was one of them. Guess the second thing? Yeah, who said cleaning? Fantastic. I was bothered about how the toilet was going to look. I was bothered about the color of plates we were going to serve the people. And more importantly, I would go outside my compound and I would start sweeping the outside of the house. Why? Because to me, the event was not as important as the experience. It was about creating an experience for people that, would come to that environment. I was bothered about, the color of the plate, how is it going to be? When they come, this room, is it going to be enough for my sister's friends. My dad, they had enough space. Those are the things that bothered me. I was really bothered about the process. So you can understand why they called me Mr. Anugu. It was really bad. I'll take toothbrush and it's called me, you know. And everybody would be like, how would you dress up? I'm like, dress up for what? This is what my business is. So when I graduated, and of course I didn't go to work because my whole mindset was, how am I going to serve? How do I serve people? How do I impact people? Because we're going to agree that one of the biggest issues we have in this country is we lack service mentality. We don't understand what it is to serve. We see service as being subservient. Meanwhile, everything we're doing as bankers, HR managers, as architects, telecommunications, we're actually serving. Everybody that has impacted this world, they impacted by service. By providing a product with good research, anything to make life a bit easier. It was about creating a better experience for whom? The person you're reaching out to. And the money was always a what? By products. So I started doing chin-chin. I started doing chin-chin because I was bored and I wanted to do something. But for making the chin-chin, because I'm who I am, I found that I had to source the best flour, I had to source the best butter, I had to source the best of everything. And I wasn't trying to impress everybody, I was trying to do me. As we have clearly said here, don't make excuses for who you are. I am who I am, proudly the way I am, and I'm making no apologies for it. The reason I am the way I am is because I am here to impact a group of people. Those group of people will be attracted to me by the things I offer, and I understood that very early. And so I made my chin-chin and I got my own niche. And guess what? In 2004, I believe I like to say I was the first person to actually start selling chin-chin at about 300 naira a kilo. That was my first business. I was very dedicated about everything I did. But what was most important was that the people that I put around me, that's the workers that I engaged, I started to teach them something. Because when they come from outside and the first thing they do is, guess what? What do they do? Stealing is okay, I can manage stealing because I'll just sack it. What's the next thing they do? They go straight into the store and they grab the flour, they will not wash their hands. And in my mind, I'm like, where do you guys come from? Well, you know what kind of human beings are you? It's not your food. Or they're in the kitchen and they're talking about the food they're rolling. I'm like, what? How horrific. It's not the fact that nobody's watching us. You should do your service as though the Almighty God was watching you. And that's what's important. Not behind the scenes, or rather not what we see on the outside, but the preparation of the background. And I taught these people, I taught them, they became very deliberate. So that without much logic, they would come into the kitchen, they knew and understood what they needed to do. But one thing that was really impactful for me in that time was the fact that some of them moved on to do other things, because I moved on also to do other things. And they would call me and say to me, I just want to thank you so much. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because of the things you taught me, I'm not educated, but I was able to go to my next place of work and charge a higher premium. Wow! Because they were deliberate. They started to become a bit more mindful, and they started to understand the place of creating an experience in your own small space. Because it's not about what you do, it's about who you are and how you do what you do. And the truth of the matter is, right now, we are all business people. We've probably been in business or in our careers an average of 10, 15 years, right? If you're less than 10 years in business, please raise your hand. If you're above 10 years, please raise your hand. We are all above 10 years in our businesses and our careers. And when we talk about people, or we talk about service excellence, I do not understand how we talk about service excellence without first of all talking about the people. And the people start with who? Us. That's where it starts from. Why do we brand our businesses? Why do we brand? Can anybody answer this?
To differentiate your product.
And why do we market? We have service excellence, and we all admit here that it is 100 times more expensive to attract a new client than it is to retain what? An old one. So, the question I want to ask is, if you do set service standards, because I know if you're going to brand, you're going to take the time to be deliberate about setting a service standard. A brand plan, right? You're going to be very deliberate about setting the marketing strategy. Let me ask you, do you have a service strategy? Do you have a strategy for your service? Branding for what? Positioning. Marketing for what? People for what? The system. And then service for what? Client retention. If you don't have clients, technically you don't have what? A business. What standards do you put in place, or strategy do you consciously and deliberately put in place for your service standards? That's the first question. The second question I want to ask is, or rather, it's going to be a statement I'm going to ask. When you employ your people or you recruit your people, they are the ones to execute your service standards, right or wrong, because we all cannot be at our businesses all the time. It's impossible. So we have people to execute or interpret our service standards. The first question I would like to ask, what's the first thing you think you should train when you identify the right person? Identify the right person. And that, the truth of the matter is, service excellence is a broad topic. We cannot exhaust it in a year or 2 years. But once you identify the right person, what do you think is the first thing you need to do? Train them on. Anybody? And all that. Alright, anybody else? Anybody else? Customer service. Who else? Who else?
Product knowledge.
What?
I think it will be the job they were hired for.
Okay. When you first said just they should get on with it and just train them on the job they were hired for. And my service excellence training program is really radical, I like to say, because the first thing I usually teach businesses and individuals to do is to first of all train your people how to serve themselves. Because people can't give what they don't have. If they can't serve themselves or understand the concept of self-service, I promise you, the customer service you're layering on them, the job description you're packing on them, to then just give me my money at the end of the month. Everything they do is robotic compulsion, not my true passion or with the desire to actually solve a problem or to provide a solution. It's that simple. And when I say train your people to serve themselves, until your people understand that they are the CEO of their job description, they do not understand how to start solving problems in their capacity. All they are doing is doing what you told them to do. So the first training you must give your people is how to what? Serve themselves. Become the CEO meant to do is to read, okay, the customer is always right. No, the customer is always not always right. That's not what it is. There's a thinking behind the customer is always right. And if you don't understand the thinking, even if the customer is wrong, you do not know how to solve that problem. And the truth of the matter is we are all here to solve problems. We're all the jobs and businesses to solve what? Problems. So when we make them become the CEOs of their job descriptions, you are enabling them to become what? Problem solvers and solution providers. So the first thing you need to teach your people is how to become what? Service driven. They need to learn to serve themselves. The second person they will serve is they will learn to serve their colleagues and serve their environment. Until your team members understand that what happens in the accounts department is just as much their problem as it is the accountant's problem. Truth of the matter is they're just going to be there to do their thing. When you tell them to stay there longer than necessary, it's going to be a bother. But if they understand that, oh my goodness, anything that happens from the front gate is my problem, you're teaching them how to mind their businesses. So the second thing you have to teach them is to serve their environment and their colleagues, because the truth of the matter is their first clients are who? Their colleagues. If they can't manage their colleagues, they can't manage your customers. You're asking them to do too much. So they have to learn to self-manage, self-serve, serve the environment, serve their colleagues, make life easier. If this is supposed to move from here, this table to that table, it's not personal. I don't need to like you. We don't need to like each other, we just need to get the job done. Because at the end of the day, for every department, we are interconnected. And we are only as weak as our, or as strong as our what? Weakest link. So, first of all is what? Second. And then that thing, you can now, because when I talk about vision and mission and values of the company, and in your opinion that before you even employ them, it's from before employment, we talk about values. Because we don't share the same values, we shouldn't even be in the company, same company. So before they even get into talk about values or vision and mission, quite frankly, they should have read it somewhere before coming, because they knew they were coming from what? My interview. So before you come to my table to tell me you want to get employed in my company, you better tell me what my vision is. My vision is my values and how you're going to add to me. That's it. So you don't even train them on your vision and mission. You only now update them on how to perfect and carry out your vision and your mission. The final thing I would say to you is you now teach them how to carry out customer service. But the truth of the matter, if they understand how to serve themselves, if they understand how to serve their colleagues in their environment, they understand what your values are, the things you're trying to do, the problems you're trying to solve, customer service will be a walk in the park. Again, my name is Izehi Anugu, and I will share my card out in case we have any more questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, back with you shortly. Thank you.
main focus of my passion is service excellence, training, recruiting, and consulting on service excellence standards. I still do my education too. That's my side.
Anyone else have questions? We have the second speaker. I'd just like to read out his profile. He has written for PEX, Process Excellence Network, comprising of over 100,000 strong process practitioners from all over the world. He's the author of several books, including Bridges to the Customer's Heart, dubbed the Customer Service Bible. He is the CEO of Vision and Talent, one of Nigeria's most respected process excellence consultancies, a Toastmaster, and the founder of Book Writing Forum, Experience Annex and Paradise Books. Paul has over 350,000 facilitation man-hours under his belt. Let's welcome Paul. Thank you very much.
I noticed that after my colleague spoke, you didn't give her a round of applause. Let me help. I want a response, please. Will you give me ladies? As my colleague said, I'm scared. Anyway, I'm very excited to be in the midst of Nigerians, ladies, who are taking the bull by the horn to wrest power from the men. You know, because the men have failed us. The men have not failed us. Why? Because as I was leaving my home, my wife said, "Won't you drop something for no Nepal for the past 4 days in my place?" And it's all over the country. So I want to congratulate you for this initiative. Ijoma, Winnie, Didi, and all the rest. You're doing a wonderful job, and I want you to press ahead. Despite the challenges you face. A journey of 1,000 miles, they say, starts with just one step. Some people say a tree cannot be a forest, but it takes a tree to begin a forest. I won't take too much of your time. Just as a brief introduction, my name is Paul. I like to say I'm a full Nigerian. Some people say, how come? I'm a full Nigerian. I was born and bred in the East, precisely in the South. I began my career in the North, Northwest in particular, Sokoto, comprising Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara states, where I worked with some of the poorest peasant farmers in Nigeria. And that really exposed me to the challenges facing our country. In the past 20 years, I've been in Lagos, so you can see I've gone around. I did my university education in Europe, precisely in Russia. I speak Russian language. I've traveled to about 35 countries of the world, and so I really gone around. And I want to share with you very, very briefly. I really like what my colleague said and presented, because it's the same thing I've been doing for the past 18 years, talking about the appalling level of service in Nigeria. It's really appalling. I've written about 6 books, and if your name is on the list, I'm going to give you 1 copy before you leave this room. You get it before you leave. So ensure your name is on the list. And then at the end of my presentation, we are going to do a small workshop taking less than 5 minutes, so that we can really understand ourselves and put benchmarks on this journey, so that when we have arrived, we'll be so happy to say, yes, this is exactly what I wanted to achieve. So let's get started. My presentation is called, I'm speaking on entrepreneurship. Ijeoma, you said I should speak on entrepreneurship. So I'm speaking on entrepreneurship and crossing the chasm. This will be my presentation. My brief story, which I've already said, my take on entrepreneurship, and you are taking away here that we can make Nigeria better. So you have to look a little bit higher than just setting up the business by the side. So let's get started. I mentioned to you that the past 20 years I've been in Lagos. I worked in one of the top 10 banks in Nigeria, and I rose to become the head of credit analysis, controlling a portfolio of about, responsible for a portfolio of about 450 billion naira. And 10 years, 2010 precisely, I took a bow and started my own business, Vision on Talent, and I have some other platforms. These are some of the books I've written. This is the one that you will get. Everybody will get that copy of the book if your name is on the list. So I encourage you to become members of Full Circle, because when you become a member, you are going to enjoy a lot of privileges, a lot of, she said networking is very critical, that you network. Without a network, you are dead. Because you just find that you don't know anybody who to turn to for encouragement, a shoulder to cry on, or something. You really need a good network. Somebody you can call and he'll give you an advice what to do. Some of the biggest men in the whole world had mentors. You need a mentor. So, in the past 7 years or 6 years since I left Diamond Bank, I've been trying to position myself as an expert and show that you are all experts. You will say, how come? I'm not an expert. You are an expert. So beside the business you do, you can do the type of business I do, speaking as an expert. So these are the things I do. I coach people, I train people, I author books, I speak as I'm speaking right now. Sometimes some people are able to pay me for speaking. I consult, I do seminars, and I now trying to master information marketing. You can be insanely great if you dabble into, if you master information marketing, because the world is really powered by information. The world is powered by information. As we move ahead, I will explain how this can be done and how you can do it. So these are the things that this wealth beyond your imagination is less than 30 pages and they are sold all over the world. So, can we make progress? Okay. It's not about me, it's about you. So let's talk about entrepreneurship. The word entrepreneur is, I believe, is a French word, was first defined or described by a French economist by name Jean-Baptiste Say in 1800, about 217 years ago. He said, an entrepreneur, please, are you listening? Yes. An entrepreneur is someone who takes resources from a lower to a higher level of productivity and utility. If you can write down that definition and always ask yourself, am I taking these resources to a higher level of productivity? So I'm going to explain how all these things works out. There's so much water in the lagoon, am I right? We are surrounded by water, but that water is useless, am I right? Unless you can take it to a higher level of productivity by bottling it like this, refining it, you can sell it all over the world. You are adding value. So, I'm going to give you 7 examples of entrepreneurship. What you need to do to position yourself as an entrepreneur. Number 1 is think MTP. MTP stands for massive or massively transformation or transformative purpose. What did I say? Massively transformative purpose. You must have a purpose why you are setting it up. The purpose is never to make money. Money is a byproduct of service, as my colleague here said. Money is a byproduct. When you have set up and the purpose is so massive, you'll be seeing people running after you. Say, please take the money, and you're running away. You say, no, I'm telling you. Do you know that people call me and I speak for 1 hour and they pay me 200,000? I'm not saying I'll arrive there or I'm swimming money, no. But don't forget, I started just about 5 years. In fact, as she said, having a network. I spent 25 years in banking. When I came out, my account was in deficit of 12 million because I had a mortgage loan. My credit card was in debit of 1 million naira. Of course, the bank took it immediately. So I basically did not have a single kobo in my pocket. All my accounts, I think I had about less than 200 naira in my account because if you step out of the bank, they block your accounts. They block your accounts, yes. They block all the accounts. But luckily, because I think I had a small account in another bank, and it was less than 2,000 I had there. No network. And I was working in what we call back office duties. I was doing back office. First, I spent 7 years in training, which I'm enjoying today. And I spent 7 years in risk management. Risk management is back office. I told you I was head of analysis. No credit could pass the bank without Paul having a say. Paul, what do you say? Yes, no. Of course, my management is their wisdom. Can always say, okay, Paul, you have your say. We will have our way. Having a network, and I looked around. I didn't know anybody. Absolutely, I didn't know anybody. Absolutely, I did not know anybody. 25 years in banking. I was very dedicated and so on and so forth. Networking is very important. Let's move ahead. Let's not overstretch and overburden you with my stories. Am I right? So, entrepreneurship, think MTP. MTP is massively transformative purpose. What purpose do you have? For instance, full circle wellness. I was telling Ijoma, look, Ijoma, you have started a journey. And this journey, I'm a member of Toastmasters. Toastmasters was started in 1924. Today, we have 350,000 clubs all over the world. I'm sure that some of you here are members of Rotary Club. It was started by someone. Some of you are members of Lions Club. It was started by someone. So, let's clap hands for the members, the partners. Yes. You have done something and you need to take it to the logical conclusion. Think of setting up chapters all over the country, empowering women, not in the political sense of empowerment and putting things, but letting them see their... What purpose do you have? Let me say Mother Teresa. She had no money, but she set up a movement to help the poor. By the time she died, she was, within a few years, she was made a canon, a saint of the Roman Catholic Church. This man, he never went to school. This Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple Computers, he never went to school. He never went to school. The day he was invited to give a speech at Stanford, and they gave me an academic guy. I said that was the first day he was wearing an academic gown in his life, that he was feeling uncomfortable. But meanwhile, they've given him more than 300 PhDs, honorary PhDs. What was his purpose? You can see that. I'm sure that some of you here have iPhone. He redefined business. I'm sure that you know the price he paid. He was 13 years in the wilderness. He was kicked out of his company because he had a purpose. He wanted to revolutionize the way we do business. And this is I'm sure that you don't know what you have in your hand. Your iPhone is an office by itself. An iPhone is an office. It can do wonders. Massive transaction. Of course, it's not in their vision statement. If you know what is said, if you read his books, or you have read through some of his interviews, he said that we as human beings always take, that we need to add back. We also need to give. So he said his vision is to leave a dent on the universe. That was his vision. When I talk about massively transformative purpose, to leave a dent on the universe. And you know what it means to leave a dent on the universe? When he died about a few years ago, he left 6 billion for his wife. He paid a price, massive transformative purpose. And part of the vision was that anything made by Apple must be insanely great. What did I say? Insanely great. Insanely great. I'm sure that when you hold an iPhone in your hand, people, there are only 2 phones in the world, iPhone and others. Like it or not. Like it or not. To leave a dent on the universe, and anything we make in this company must be worth insanely great. Of course, the board member said we are making so much money. The first year he made $1 million. Second year they made $10 million. The third year they made $100 million. So the board members were telling him, what are you talking about? We are making so much money. What is insanely great? Come on, let's go ahead. They didn't understand the vision. They kicked him out. For 18 years he was out. It was when the company was about to die. They begged him to come back. So what is your massively transformative purpose? What are you going to add to make the world a better place? That is what you must ask yourself as you start your business. So do not just be contented by being 1 or 2 things. What am I? At the end of it all, what will be my legacy in the sense of time? Massively transformative purpose. So every day, it's just all over us. Think, what can I do to make Nigeria a better place? You must say, what can I do to make myself rich? Because at the point in time, money is no more a motivator. Say, what can I do to make this country or Africa or the world a better place? If you can think of something and come up with, share your ideas with friends. That's why networking is important. The world has, the sky has no limits for you. Think service. She has covered it. Clap hands for her. Please. Think service. Think service. It's not about you. It's about the customer, it's the client. So you are not buying shoes. You are buying happiness. And 10 years later, Amazon bought Zappos for $1 billion. As we are talking, Tony is worth $840 million. That is his network. If you are doubting me, when I leave here, please Google. What is Tony Shares' net worth? $840 million as of yesterday. Because he pursued service. So think service. You must say, how much money am I going to make? What do I need to cut? No. What will the customer benefit from doing business with us? That is the question you must ask. When once you ask that question and answer, find a way to save that customer. People will be running, say, please Paul. People run after me, say, Paul, take money. I say, I don't want. Of course, I'm using it to pay my debts. If you see my car, it's a jalopy. But I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Can we make progress? Yes. Entrepreneurship. Think innovation. What can you do that changes the rules of the game? What can you do? There are so many things that have already been achieved. So what can you do to disrupt the existing system of things? Think innovation. Example, this guy, Brian Chesky, 3 of his friends, just like 5 of you or 4 of you, set up in a full circle. He said, they are into hospitality, hotels, tourism, and all whatnots. But I can assure you they have no hotel of their own. They have not a single hotel. They have no hotel. But I said they're into what? Hotel business. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. I'm sure that some of us, when we travel, we stay in what we call bed and breakfast. So, this is what he's doing. bed and so it's Airbnb, a bed and breakfast, all over the world. It's just an apps. It's just an apps. Do you have a house that it costs, if somebody travels to Nigeria or Lagos or Agungu or Kontagora or Dutse or Calabar or Uyo can stay? You say, yes, I have a house. You upload a picture of your house, you do verification, and you are in. A customer comes, instead of staying at Sheraton Hotel paying about $2,000, he comes and stays in your house and pays you $200 or $100 as you like. Hotels all over the world are dying because of Airbnb. As of the last valuation, this company was valued at $18 billion. I'm sure that some of you use what they call Uber, taxi. Uber is valued at $60 billion. Idea. They don't have any taxes. You just join. They have no, so all the companies that have tens and tens of thousands of taxis, they have to maintain the taxi, they have to pay the drivers and so on. They don't have that. They just ask you, can you join us? Say, yes, I can join you. And then somebody will just call, I need a taxi. Uber is there. And some people are making 200,000 naira per month, some 300,000, and it's all over the world. They have no assets of their own. Because assets, you have to maintain the assets, and it adds costs to your operations. Can we make progress? So think what? Innovation. Number 2. Number 1 is what? MTP. Number 2 is what? Number 2 is service. Number 3 is innovation. Think what? Exponential. 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 This is Derek. His name is Derek. I'm an ordinary guy. He was born in 1969. I told you that Tony was born in 1973. He was born in 1970. He's a musician. He composed his music. He took it to the shops that used to sell his music. They said, we only sell music from the big boss. He said, is that so? Yeah, you only sell music from the big boss? Great. What did he do? He set up a website and he called it what? CD Baby. And he invited all the musicians all over the world to come and sell their music on his website. At the end of 10 years, he has sold CDs worth $100 million. And from nowhere, someone comes and said, please, I would like to buy your website. He sold the website for $22 million. Derek immigrated to New Zealand from the US to go and cool his yes. Think about entrepreneurship. Think about doing things unconventionally. If you are somebody who wants to sell music, go to CD Baby. Can we make progress? Number 5. Think what? Passion. So you will not say, oh, Paul is a liar. He isn't giving us American examples. This is a Nigerian example. My good friend, Ngozi. They say what a man can do, a woman can do better. They said, you want something done, give it to a lady. It's true. Ngozi was just a relatively middle level staff in what? Mobile. And what was Mobile doing? Flipping fuel. They're just bringing the fuel and sell. That's all. Forget about the word import. They're bringing the fuel and sell. Because they say, I can do this. What is so special about this thing? You bring in the fuel, you sell it. Because they say, I can do this. And they set up a company called what? Techno Oil. If you drive around 4 Points by Sheraton, you will see their new head office building. Just opposite 4 Points. Sheraton by 4 Points, or 4 Points by Sheraton. They left their former office and they moved to their new head office just about 3 or 5 years ago. They are moving to their new head office. Have passion for your idea. What idea do you have? What idea can change the world? You share with people. Some people will discourage you. Be tenacious with the ideas. Be passionate about it. Push ahead. Believe in yourself. As oil was coming down, Ngozi could see ahead and said, oh, oil is coming down, is that? She had diversified into gas. So in the next 18 months, you'll be buying gas from Ngozi because she will pipe it to your house.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
Passion. Passion. What passion do you have? So when you talk about innovation, passion, and so on and so forth, people here in companies teach their people how to be innovative, how to be passionate. So because this is Ladies Forum, she's a good role model for you. Alright, think what? Scale. I can assure you, if you do business, like any business you do that you cannot scale, you are not going to be very, very insanely rich. Why? Because you are going to be limited by what? Geography. You are going to be limited by cash, capital. Can you scale your business? Business that you scale means that everybody in the world can enjoy your business. Do you know a company called Amazon? Can anybody in the world enjoy their business? So think of scaling. How can you scale? This boy was born, anyway, I don't know the year he was born, but he's 27 years old. 27 years old. His name is Benson. So Benson is the founder of what? Tutoria, a company that connects teachers with students all over Nigeria. Your mother, your child is not doing very well in maths, you look for a teacher, you go to tutorial, get a teacher, join with her. He's scaling to the rest of Africa very soon. He's scaling to the whole world very soon. He's 27 years old. Microsoft saw the brilliance of his idea. Microsoft gave him 3 million naira, not dollars. So can you scale your business? If you cannot scale, think of ways you can scale it. Because Peter Diamandis, the founder of Singularity University, said, if you want to be a billionaire, it's very easy. Try and sell 1 billion people. Yes. If you do a product and you're selling it $1 and you're selling it to 1 billion, is that not $1 billion? If you're selling a product and you're selling I have a friend who sold 1 million ebooks in 5 months. 1 million ebooks in 5 months, and he was selling them at $1 $1 million is how much in naira? Depending on the exchange rate. Am I right? Because in Nigeria we have how many exchange rates? 5. So assuming that you are using the smallest one, which is about 380, you can be 380 million rich than what you are. So can you scale? Can we make progress?
Yes.
Think action. A lot of people like to procrastinate. They will sit on their couch. I will start tomorrow. I will start next year. I want my husband to encourage me. I want my sister to encourage me. Oh, let me travel to London and come back. Oh, let me do more research. I can assure you the only thing that makes action. Take action. Take action this night. When you step into your house this night, write down the 3 things you are going to start doing as an entrepreneur to change the world. Tony, my friend, is the founder of Landmark. I'm sure that you go near Oniru, you will see all the landmarks. It's all over the world. Tony is in 5 continents. Tony is where? 5 continents. Was born and bred in the UK. He came to Nigeria. He was looking for an office space. Office space in Nigeria is 10 times more expensive than in London. So they said, what? So in that case, let me go into office space. He started what we call virtual office. Virtual office. If you go to Nigeria Ray at Karimu Kotun, his office is there. If you go to, there's one on Old Kingsway Road, there's one in Ikeja, there's one at Oniru, there's Tony's everywhere, 5 continents. And it has a very interesting story. When next we meet, I will share the story. Think, action. Tony was working as an employee, and his boss told Tony, I cannot pay you. I don't have money to pay. Can you work without payment? Tony said, no, I can't work because I have my wife, I have my kids. Long story short, after about 6 months, the owner of the company sold the business. And those that agreed to work without pay, the list got £5 million. Tony got 0 kobo. Because he refused to accept to work without. Long short, the man said, this man, you've been working so hard, take £1 million. He dashed him £1 million. And that £1 million, Tony has turned it into more than £500 million today. Because of action. Are you willing to take action? So when you get home this night, write down the 3 things, the 3 actions you are going to take. If you find you have issues, call Izehi. Call me, call members of the movement. Am I right? Call it German. So these are the 3 shifts in the world. The 3 shifts changing the whole world. And I'm sure that you are aware, but how are these shifts affecting you? Globalization. If you are an employee working in one of the big top banks or top oil companies, somebody in India is trying to get their job right now. He's writing a CV to apply to a job for a job in Nigeria. Globalization. So you are no more competing against yourself, you are competing with everybody in the world. Therefore, you must make yourself the best in the world. You cannot become the best today, but you can become the best tomorrow by what? Constant practice. Understanding, pushing yourself to your limit. A lot of people we just take things lightly in Nigeria because it's easy to make money lightly in Nigeria. You can steal money in Nigeria. If you are a governor, you can steal. If you are a commissioner, you can steal. Anybody in Nigeria can steal money. But for men with conscience, you don't have to steal money. You can make money. Globalization, we are competing with the best of the best in the world. So are you willing to be the best of the best? Digitization. This is where it happens. Everything in the world can be dematerialized today. Everything can be what? Dematerialized. So, think apps, think artificial intelligence, think robotics. There are so many things that happen in the world today. In fact, as we are talking, another big change is coming. The Internet of Things. How are you positioning yourself? Digitalization. I talked about Uber, I talked about Airbnb, there are so many of them. Can you develop, can you have an idea that you can develop an apps, can be sold all over the world? Digitalization. Finally, change. Change is everywhere. So, if you stand still, change is going to blow you. I'm not talking about the type of change that said, who is the best in jollof rice in Africa or in the world? And you said in Senegal. And you are the minister for tourism. You are the minister for information. You are the minister for tourism. You are the minister for hospitality. And you say Senegal. Even if you do not love yourself, how can you love other people? We are talking about change that will take us to the promised land, ladies and gentlemen. If you just hear about the word change and you must change and you must change, you are not taking action. You are not doing things to make sure that you are better today than you were yesterday. You are better today than you were 2 days ago. You are going to be highly ladies and gentlemen, change is upon us. I've given you 7 things you need to do. MTP, service, innovation, exponential, action, scale and action. All those things are embedded in what? Digitization and change and globalization. Alright, so what is the takeaway for you? For us? These are the takeaway. move away if you are a lone wolf, efficient worker. Lone wolf, join the network. Become an entrepreneur with the X factor. What is the meaning of the X factor? Somebody wrote about that people that achieve have what, it didn't know how to describe it, so use the word X. They are never satisfied with no. They are action oriented. They do not accept obstacles. They break through obstacles. That's what they call the X factor. So think innovation, think action, think me, think you, think me. If not you, who? That's right. If not here, where? If not now, when? Take action today. Start out. Do not try to copy. Do not like to be like any other person. Be yourself. Start out. If someone is thinking about you, is thinking about wine. What is the best wine in the world I can make? It must be your wine. Service. Stand out. Do not accept average. Do not accept, well, it's good enough. It must be 101%. Must be 1%. You don't need to be 1,000,000% better than everybody. You just need to be 1% better than the rest. This is my dream. Alright? I was speaking with Neka. Neka, who is Neka? Okay. Neka was just saying, motivational speaker. You know, that motivational speech, they send helicopter to pick us. Of course, the man was so happy after our presentation. He said, I wanted you to go back with public transport. I will bring you back by my private plane. He brought us back with his private plane. So, think. You can, as an entrepreneur, you can live the life of your dream. But it requires action. It requires sacrifice. I told about Steve Jobs. He was kicked out of his company. For 13 years, he was out there struggling. He still came back to revive his company, and as they said, the rest is history. Thank you very, very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Paul. Does anyone have any questions or comments about any of the presentation that we've heard from him? Anyone? Okay, we have two. All right.
We have a small workshop, so let's do the workshop. It's going to take 2 minutes, and then be able to take off from there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Okuchi Ebogbe. I'm an entrepreneur, so I get what he's saying. Mr. Paul, one house, please. So, Mr. Paul, you said for Mr. Tony, the son of man. No. Mr. Tony, the son of the one with the shoe. Samples, yes. That he thought to sell happiness. How did he sell happiness? Because I go for workshops and I hear this kind of thing. They sold happiness. So when people buy things from me, you buy happiness. How do you encapsulate happiness in shoe? So how did he sell happiness in shoes? Could you please break it down, please? Thank you.
He was using a metaphor for customer service. This is internal dialogue with the staff. Look, we have no money to fight Amazon. We have no money to fight eBay. Therefore, we must be 10 million times better than them in customer service. So on phone, when you call Zappos on phone, they will make you, in fact, some people are lonely. They need people to talk to. Zappos staff will speak to you in such a way that, in fact, you ask, where is your office? Please, can I come? I want to come buy shoes. That's how they were able to sell shoes worth $1 billion. And Amazon came and bought them for $1 billion. It's customer service. In another way, using a metaphor of that our work is to create happiness for the people that come and do business with us. So anybody that steps into Zappos, online, on phone, email, whatever, website must be left extremely happy. And today, 6 years ago, am I right? I was working, because I thought I could make a lot of money if I work in the banking industry. I read, CIBN, this, name it. But that's not how money is made. Money is made through entrepreneurship. Let me ask you about, you know someone called Tony Elumelu? Yeah. Tony what? Elumelu. Okay. Tony happened to be my friend. Tony had a different mindset. Tony wanted to be what? An entrepreneur. I wanted to be what? The best professional in the world. So Tony could come and employ me and say, Paul, you know what? I'm going to pay you 1 million a month. Come and work for me. And at the end of the day, Tony will be making 1 billion for his own. Me, I will make how much? 12 million. You understand? So, directly answering your question, the best time to have started was what? 20 years ago, 30 years ago. The next best time is now. I didn't start because I never knew. I read science. I never knew anything called entrepreneurship. They didn't teach us. Assume that they taught us that the difference. That's why the university is the worst place to start life. Don't forget, Bill Gates dropped out of university to go and pursue, because, listen very, very well. Why did he drop out? He said because the window of opportunity will never open again. Now we have left the era of computers. We are now in the era of web business. He said that window will never open again. Therefore he ceased and left university, came and started Microsoft, and became the richest man in the world. So there is no better time to start. The best time to start is now. Okay? Are you psychologically ready? Psych yourself up psychologically to be. Some people that are working, when you are working, you are so, embedded, immersed in the job that you don't even know what's going on outside there. That's why I encourage my friends. I have a platform called Executive Business Roundtable, which I invite executives. We sit together and discuss business, we discuss things. Most of the executives that come for that, some of them are CEOs. It's only for CEOs and founders. If you're a founder, you can attend. If you're a CEO, you can attend. They tell me, Paul, I don't know what I'm going to do when I leave this place. Because the CEO in Nigeria, they can kick you out anytime, am I right? Your tenure is not guaranteed. It's just, no tenure is guaranteed these days. So the best time, I wish I knew I could have started 20, 30, 40 years ago. But I didn't know that there's something called entrepreneurship until somebody told me. When I came out, that's when my eyes opened. And of course I met people, I enlisted for coaching. Get a coach. It's expensive, but the best time, the best way for you to cut 10, 15 years from your experience is to have a coach. Thank you very much.
Please, can everyone fill out the questionnaire that was given to you, just very quickly, and the ushers will collect it from you.
Information you gave us on service. Most of the questions we were asking, the answers were off. So it means that we still have a whole lot to learn. So honestly, I really appreciate you coming in today and taking your time. I know we will see what side of this is. So thank you. We have our blessing on the rest of the place. Probably next one I would love you to come. Because some of the questions you're asking, I think it's good for you to follow up. I don't know if I'm alone. There's a need for us to follow up. Because most of us here aspire to be entrepreneurs. So even those who are already on their own still want to find their business. So please want to appreciate you for coming. Thank you so much. And this is just a token of enough for us everything.
I want to thank Minister Within for inviting me. I want to thank you for this initiative.
Thank you very much.
I just saw it with some friends.
Give a member surprise. Here you go.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much, I can't pronounce his name. I am Mr. Paul Uduk. You've done an outstanding job, and what I'm taking away from this whole seminars is taking action. You know, because without action, everything is just a story. So we need to take action. So in our tradition, we give gifts to our most outstanding or our most improved member. And this quarter, our most improved member is Peju. You know, because everything that we've discussed, you know, everything that Mr. Paul has discussed, you know, really is about you, because this last few weeks you've really inspired a lot of us just by taking action. You know, just by saying that, look, I'm going to do something different. So we're really proud of you, and you've inspired a lot of silent members, you know, to stand up and do something different. So, you know, we're really proud of you, and we hope that, we know it's not a fluke, we know that it's something that we're just going to continue to do. So, we're giving you a free facial with one of our members. So whenever you're ready, just give us a call and we'll direct you. So just come and receive a hug and a handshake. Thank you.
Lovely Choo-Choo. Let's appreciate her. There's so many Choo-Choo members in the house, so we really appreciate that. And please, Neka, come out again, because I have you down for member validation. Come on.
Surprise. My name is Neka again. Well, I've just been asked, I didn't know anything about this, to talk to everyone about being a full circle woman. I don't know where to start, but I'll start at the beginning. I started this journey with Ijoma, of course, and we're talking about it from even before the whole group started, and how important it is that she said that most women at this our age really want to know what we need to do with ourselves. A lot of us, this middle age, are, I wouldn't say confused, but we're thinking of what to do with our lives. Some of us are working. Should I resign? What can I do to do better for myself? Should I get my own business? What's the next step in life? Challenges from home, children, husband, and all whatnot. So she kind of encouraged me that, okay, it's somewhere that we can come together as a group and encourage ourselves. We are all going through the same thing. It's only when you hear the other person's story that you know that, oh, I'm not alone in this. Being a full circle woman, I'm sorry, I have to keep stopping because I wasn't prepared for this. For me, it has helped me to understand the meaning of doing something you set out to do. It's not easy to start something and follow it through. I'll use myself as an example. I exercising. Of course, my husband is an exercise freak. Ever since I've known him, so I will do exercise on Monday. Tomorrow I'm not doing Jerry. I'm tired. I was going up and down. A lot of my friends here, they know how big I was as at last year. I will tell you, I started in January, I was 101 kilograms. Right now I'm 86 kg. When I started, I was like, okay, is this possible? Ijoma was saying, Neka, don't think, just do it. I said, okay, I'll wake up. 30 minutes, I'll start, I'll walk. I was telling Bookie, it's not so much as in running or being tedious. I was walking for a month. I didn't do anything else but walk for 30 minutes every day. It's the daily routine that matters. It's not how intensive or spending 10 hours at the gym. No, it's the everyday effort. You wake up in the morning. If you normally leave your house by 5, wake up by 4:30. Before you know it, you're done with your 30 minutes and you're ready to go. And you find out that you don't think, when you think about it, you won't do it. Because if you get up and I'll keep my gym clothes by my bed. So once I get up, I brush my teeth, I just wear my gym clothes. So no excuse, as I'm wearing it, I must sweat and take it off and bath. So that's how I got along with it. I kept on doing it and I have felt so much better. And then the food we eat. The saying is true, you are what you eat. It's just, there is no mixing words. Healthy living, you cannot go wrong. Eat right, and then exercise is the ultimate. You will feel better for it. Any day, anytime, just give it a shot. 3 weeks, at the beginning, you might not be feeling any difference. But they'll tell you, 1 month, you will see the difference, I promise you. I'm a living example. I can always tell from my personal experience. And when you get there, you don't want to go back. It's a wonderful feeling. And let's just think about ourselves, like we keep saying. Be selfish. Love yourself more.
part of the exco of the executive committee. So people behind the scenes, working behind the scenes to make things happen and pushing the vision of the group forward. Well, the thing is, there's a general message by Full Circle, which is really to groom your total woman. But in terms of this particular quarterly hangouts, the focus is on entrepreneurship. We're trying to encourage budding business people to just step out and do what they want to do. And then we also hope to connect people with a wider network within Nigeria, within Africa, really as far as we can reach, to showcase what you do, and then also show what other people need to do as well, vice versa, because we believe that when people partner and support each other, then businesses can thrive. Well, I think that's a word that is really thrown around so carelessly. So I'm not going to just say it's empower women. I'd rather say we're here to learn, you know, and add to yourself, and then take it back to whatever you're doing and hopefully enhance. So is that empower? Maybe, but I wouldn't use that language. I'll just say that we're here to learn, broaden our minds, and get different perspectives in diverse areas. Well-being, business, networking. Networking is very key. I think people play around with the word without really knowing what it means and what you can do with it. So I'll just call it to gain knowledge. A lot of times it's fear that holds people back. Everybody has a dream, has a vision, has something they want to do, but we're busy seeing things that are not really there. Limitations, financial, can I do it? Honestly, if there's one thing anybody should take away from here, it's do it afraid. Because you're going to be hearing from people who have done it, who have started from nothing and have made something out of it. So do it afraid.
I am a boss lady. Boss lady means somebody that is a leader, that knows what she wants, that goes out there to achieve her goals, and is not afraid to do things that inspire her and inspire others. Yes, I do. I'm actually a founder of a movement called Raising Confident Girls, and there's about 15,000 members. So every day online, I'm encouraging, with a team of 6 others, we encourage people to raise confident girls. Empowering girls helps the nation, you know, especially in Nigeria, where we typically have a more chauvinistic nation than outside of the country. So I think that when girls know inside that they can do anything that a boy can do, it helps empower them, empower their family, empower the community, and empower Nigeria. So yeah, she is a role model. She's very confident. She believes in herself. She doesn't feel she has to be liked by anybody because she knows what she has inside her. So I do think that she's a good role model. Confidence, inner confidence is everything. It's not about how you look, about how your hair, about your handbag. It's more to do with your inner self, accepting yourself, believing yourself, and loving yourself.
My name is Izehi Anugu. I'm a graduate of the University of Lagos. I studied theatre arts, creative arts, theatre major. Right now I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a retailer of hair products, natural hair products, and I'm waiting my NYSC. Okay, to be an entrepreneur means being a problem solver, finding a problem and creating solutions to those problems. That's what entrepreneurship means to me. Trying to make the best use of resources that are available to solve problems. Well, okay, they say that experience is the best teacher, but I will always tell people that experience is not the best teacher.
Really?
And then for people who have gone ahead of me, so you will have some people who are definitely ahead of us here.
Yes.
It's all about gaining from their own experience, learn their mistakes, and learn the principles of the business. Because I mean, another thing about entrepreneurship is yes, you want to provide solutions, but you also want to learn the business aspects of those things because you want to make profit. So it's basically about learning from their own experiences. So I want to hear their stories and learn from their experiences, get advice. Okay, like I said I retail products for natural hair. Now, if you look at it, I started last year, and as of last year, a lot of people had issues with how to make their hair. They said their hair was really hard, and sometimes they have products here, but the products are really expensive. But my business is out to make those products available here to people, quality products available to people at discounted prices. So we do a lot of research, read up products, we go out of our way to do a lot of research to find out how we can get products that are good for natural hair, but at the same time at discounted prices. And also, like I said, our services are moderate, like pocket-friendly prices. So what we do is that we make things not too expensive, even when we have to make their hair for the styles, make it not too expensive. So basically, the core of the business is to provide how do I put it? Is to provide the service to them at pocket-friendly prices. So I think we're solving the problem of having to not spend too much on taking care of the hair, but at the same time we get value.
My name is Mrs. Izehi Anugu. I'm a banker by profession. I'm a member of Full Circle Wellness Solutions and one of the founding members. I Circle Wellness Solutions. That's the full name. Yeah, FCWS. Actually, it came about, by having like a group of women with similar vision and passion for wellness, for living healthy. We just thought of, we have to create an atmosphere, we have to create a group or something that can enable women of like mind. If you notice, most of us are in the same age bracket, to come full circle, kind of reawaken the spark, there was something lacking. Some of us maybe individually were like healthy or health conscious, as it were, but not as much as we would love to. But there are so many women out there who really don't have such opportunities, or who are probably too shy to talk about their health issues, or who don't even know the implication of not being healthy. So we just said, okay, this will be a forum where we will create awareness. There's a saying that health is wealth. Until you're sick, before you know, it's not the value of health. It's not about wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but you can't buy the health. So prevention is better than cure. So why don't you learn how to live healthy, and prevent getting to the point of being sick. So that's the whole essence of this program. So we dwell on health, and we dwell on it's not a diet. We talk about lifestyle rather than I'm on a diet. Okay. Then outside that, we also try to empower ourselves with so many things. We try to educate ourselves. Like today's program is going to anchor so much on entrepreneurship. So a lot of us are going to have to learn. I'm an employee. Okay? So but for how long are you going to be an employee? So you must learn how to empower yourselves and how to be able to, empower others as well. So you can be empowered, but the important thing to also empower others and let everybody know how they can empower themselves. And you have to come full circle. So that's the whole idea. So it's not one thing, but it's just mainly for women. For me, a boss lady is a woman, a total package. You are in charge of everything. You are in control. You multitask. You are confident. You do so much at the same time. Like I am a full-time banker, but I still have time for my wellness, for my health. Okay, I have time to also look at other ways we can empower ourselves, empower other women, people who are less privileged, people who are too shy to come out to talk about. We have women, we have friends who are introverts. Not everybody is extroverted. So in that regard, I can say yes, you must learn that. And as God will have it, I think women naturally, God has already given us the power to be able to multitask. And make bold to say that we are more multitasking than men. Yes, because if you can keep a home. I have 4 children, I have a husband who is also a career person. So you must learn to balance, because your home must be in order. Your place of work, you must be on point. So even if you want to run any other business or anything, you must make sure there's a balance so that nothing is lacking. My home has to be in order, and at work I have to give my 100%. So any other thing I'm going to do, the spare time you have is just for you to know how to juggle your time. So there's actually no free time for you to laze around or to mess around. So you really have to account for your time 24 hours a day. Honestly, the message I preach to everyone, some people, when you tell them, come and join our club, it's full circle, they're like, oh, I don't want another weight loss group. That's what I hear all the time. If I look like, no, even if I want to lose weight, that's not the purpose. It's for you to learn how to live healthy. You have total control of your life. And when you learn to live healthy, it becomes a lifestyle. You don't struggle with the weight. And most of us, if you have your weight under control, you have so many other things under control. That's the truth. Because that's the hardest part. People find it difficult to be disciplined with what they eat. Exercise is another bit of it. We emphasize so much on exercise. It's a lifestyle. You have to lose weight, you have to maintain, you have to also keep working out, keep pumping the heart. So So that's how you can be agile. And when you work out, there's this feel-good hormones that gets released into your system, and that makes you alert, and you can think, and you can, juggle a whole lot of things. So for anybody who comes here who is not a member, I expect them to enroll. They are going to be blessed. There's so many things. We have a book we're reading right now, so you are going to get so many, things that you don't get from any weight loss group that just talks about go away, lose weight and all that. Here they're going to tell you how to be a boss lady, talking to you about the total package, how to keep your home, how to make money, how to become or run your own business, and even if you run your own business, how you can grow your own business. That you don't get in any weight loss group. So it's here weight loss group to you. So that's why we call it full circle.
My name is Angela Ata, and I'm a full circle woman. Now, I'm a doctor by training and my profession. I'm a public health physician, and for me, full circle wellness is all about attaining wellness in every area of your life. As a doctor, it's not just about health and nutrition and wellness. It's about your finances, putting together your home, that work-life balance. Everything about a woman should be total full circle. So no half measures with full circle. It's all about the real thing. Oh yes, definitely. It empowers women because it allows them to bring out their full potential. That's how it empowers women. It's not about, when you talk about empowerment, some people think about giving money, and it's not about that. It's about letting you harness your potential. That's what it is. Agency to be able to do what is inside of them. Nobody is putting anything into them. We're helping them to bring it out. It's all about bringing out, harnessing, harvesting what is inside of you. Some of us don't know the full, you have the iceberg phenomenon, you have the little tip of the iceberg also. I think for women and for everybody really, but you know how it is. When you start with a woman, it's like creation, you're bringing to birth something. So it's not, for a woman, it's not just about herself, it's everybody that goes along with her family, whether she's married or not, she's connected to family, you know what I mean? So helping her to harness all those things that are inside of her and bringing it up, helping her to polish it and get the best product. So we started out with 3 of us initially, and then we've grown. We started out with 3 women who had this idea, who had this vision, in different facets. Let's look at the segments of an orange. So this one had this idea, and this one had that idea, and this one had the other. And we came together and said, why not make it a whole? And as more women join us, as more women join that journey of discovery, of harnessing, of harvesting, we've come out with so much more. And in a year, I see us having a lot more members who have decided to put up their hands, to stand up and say, yes, I'm ready to be that full circle woman, to address my full potential, what has been placed inside of me. As we say, Nigeria is full of all sorts of, treasures and all of that. We haven't scratched the surface of what we have. So I see that, as we become more in number, that will become more in the potential that we're bringing out, and that will be far-reaching. The next 5 years, I don't want to wait for it to be 5 years for us to be a household name in Nigeria, but in the next 5 years, definitely will be heard of. To me, it means taking control, taking charge. And taking charge, boss lady doesn't mean bossy. It means knowing what you want and actualizing it and carrying people along. You're not the only one on this journey. And full circle recognizes that you're not doing it alone. You're going with other women. Let's go in our numbers. Let's go in our strength, and encourage not just other women, but everybody else. If I go back home and I'm better as a woman from full circle, my husband is going to enjoy it. My children are going to enjoy it. Everybody around me will hear it. At work, they will hear that, no, there's a difference. She's doing things differently. And because of all the other facets, all the other segments of the orange that have been added on by all the ladies that are coming together.
This is Neka Obi. I am from Delta State, married Anambra, and had a very successful life, I would say. I started out from my university. I worked in oil and gas all my life, and I decided to resign. Started from Halliburton, did 17 years there, moved on to Nest Oil, and resigned in 2014. Resigned or retired, more or less, because I said I'm going to work on my own because I have a flair for cooking. I love to cook. I love people to eat my food and tell me it's nice. And then, like the saying goes, if you do what you enjoy doing and make it into a business, it's more interesting, because even when it goes bad, you don't feel bad about it because you enjoy doing it anyway. So we all want to do business to make money, but at the end of the day, we enjoy what we do. So I love to cook. People see cooking as work, as stressful, but I see it as a lot of joy. When I'm putting my hand in so many things and cooking, people like eating the food, it's nice. It gives me so much. I can't even find a word to express it. It's something of different kind of feeling. I see people enjoy what I cook. So now I'm into catering full time. What I do now is my catering is quite wide. I do events. I also do office lunch for offices, training, seminars. We do a little bit of confectionaries like chin-chin. And my chin-chin is strictly on order. I wouldn't want anybody to have my chin-chin in the stores. When you order the chin-chin, I'll make it for you fresh and you enjoy it. See, my motto there is appreciate and enjoy the food I cook. I don't want anybody that will, and I love feedback. It helps me improve. So whenever I give out food or make anything, I ask people, what do you think? Good or bad? It goes a long way for me to get better. So that's a nutshell about me. I would.
What's that?
Because even while I worked, when I was working Halliburton, I had the unwritten ability to lead people. I wasn't the head of my unit, but anytime my boss had to go somewhere, she always prefers to put me in charge of the other team members. And I work with people as a team most of the time, but people always see me as the person that wants to come out in front to tell me what to do. I make my hands dirty. I don't look around for people to do the thing for me. I'll give you a life example of I've been catering for GTB for 2 months, and my girls, my waitresses, one of the days I was with them working, so one of the girls had to leave. They're not feeling well. So naturally, a boss will not want to go and be clearing place and washing up. I'll probably say, let me serve, but my girls were already serving. So I went around picking the plates, washing the tables, cleaning everything, and they were like whispering among themselves, like, oh, the madam is doing the clearing. Wow, they couldn't believe it. I'm like, so when I said, Mommy, we were thinking, how can you be doing all that work? Which I said, it's okay. What's the goal here? To get the job done. You guys are already serving. Let me do the clearing. So that's fine. So I get my hands dirty. So everybody has to work together and at the same time have a voice to lead people ahead.
My name is I'm one of the founders of Full Circle Solutions. I was an ex-banker, and now I'm an entrepreneur. So this is what I do. This is our second event of the year. It's titled Ending on Wine. And the club is basically about women, trying to empower women to be their best. Okay, it's just, by the time when you get to middle age, most women, there comes a time that a woman, you feel sometimes, you feel as if, something is missing. So Full Circle Solution was inspired. We asked ourselves, because what do women want? Basically. And we know that almost all women, number one, they want to have a badass body. They want financial independence. They want health. And they just basically want to feel good about themselves. So that's what it's all about. What will take away the fact that we can have everything. Just advertising, putting yourself first. Because most of the time as women, we put ourselves last. But what we're saying now is that you need to give yourself a seat at the table. Because if you are not feeling wholesome, not feeling good about yourself, it's difficult to understand, because you can't really give what you don't have. So this is about empowering women to be your best. Be what God is to be. So that you can. I see Full Circle being a global brand. I feel it's going to become something that every woman aspires to be a part of. Because what we actually advocating is what women need. You understand? So it's going to be a global brand. First lady means a
badass. It means a lady that is confident.
Yeah.
You know who you are, you know what you want.
Yeah.
And you know, you're willing to